Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Let's do some fun crafting. Y'all stay tuned. So before we start today's project, I want to make a very special announcement. Please make sure that you tune in tomorrow because I will be debuting a brand new collection from the Craft Consortium, and they are working with a brand new designer as well. And you guys are going to love this. If you love farm life, farm animals, you're going to love this awesome collection. So tune in tomorrow and I will walk you through this beautiful, beautiful collections. So in an earlier video, I made this really beautiful desktop organizer with you guys. And boy, is it big, and it is so, so gorgeous. So I decided I would make a different version of a desktop organizer so that you guys could have choices. And here is today's project. It too is a desktop organizer with a little cork board on it. It is fabulous. We've got a big pocket here and a pocket here, one for pens, one for papers, knickknacks, whatever you would want to put in it. But guys, I'm telling you, this is absolutely beautiful. And this is what we're going to be making today. You can see that it's flat on the back, and on the front, you've got all of this glorious goodness. So let's get started on making this. The paper that I'm using for this project is from American Crafts, and it's called The Color of Memories. Okay, so to make our project, we are going to need a piece that measures 3.5 by 2 5/8, a piece of paper that measures 2 5/8 by 6, a piece of paper that measures 12 by 4 1/4, and then I'll move into the chipboard pieces that we're going to need. We will need 2 chipboard pieces that measure 2 by 4, 2 chipboard pieces that measure 2 by 5, 1 chipboard piece that is 3 3/8 by 5, 1 chipboard piece that is 4 by 6, 1 chipboard piece that is 10 1/4 by 2 3/8, 2 chipboard pieces that are 10 by 10, and then we're going to need our decorative paper, which is, we have a piece that is 10 by 12, and this is double-sided, so we have a piece that is 10 by 12, a piece that is 9.5 by 12. We have this piece that is 9 3/4 by 9 3/4, and then we have a 12 by 12 piece. So what we need to start with are the 2 pieces that measure 10 by 10, and those are our chipboard pieces, and the paper that measures 12 by 12. So what I have done is place tape on one of the 10 by 10 pieces, and I am simply going to join these 2 pieces together. Now, if you have a heavyweight chipboard, that's perfect for this. I just wanted to strengthen up the back of this project just a little bit. So I am going to press these 2 boards down, and now I'll place tape on the back, and I'll be right back. And now that I have my tape on the back here, I am going to stick this down, and this time I want my polka dots to be on the board in the back. So all I'm going to do is place that down, and I will stand it up so that I can get my edges, fold it over. And because I've doubled my board, I am going to go ahead and bend these over just to make sure that when I do my miter cutting, I'm cutting in the right spot. And now that I have all of my edges folded over, I'll come back with my finger blade and just miter cut. All right, so I placed tape along the edges, and I'll remove this piece with you guys, and then all I'll be doing is standing this up, folding it over, and getting it stuck to the tape. So now we'll use our 9 3/4 by 9 3/4 inch piece, and I am just running glue along the edges, and I'm actually using the bottle that I store my refill glue in. So what I usually do is just take this and fill my small bottles, but it was right there, so I decided I would just use it. And I am putting glue all over this. Ordinarily, you would see me lay tape down on here and then glue on the edges, but I went ahead and placed glue all over that piece because I have doubled up on my chipboard, so my board is not going to warp by having that glue down on the paper and the board. All right, guys, so now we are going to work with the piece of decorative paper that measures 10 by 12. We're going to bring in our 4 by 6 piece and place it right at the bottom, just like that. And I have put tape on the back of this, not glue. And then I need to bring in the 2 pieces that measure 2 by 4, and I am going to put those down, giving myself about 1/8 of an inch in spacing. And I'll be putting them down on both sides of that 4 by 6 board. And I'll bring in my finger blade, and I'm just going to trim off the excess and angle out. This is a process that most of you have seen me do many, many times. Now I need to cover this portion with tape, so I will be right back because you guys don't want to watch me do this. And so I'll stand it up just like this, just to kind of work it over. And you can either fold it over this way, which I'll do on this one. I'll do it the other way on the next one. Lay it down. Let's smooth this out on both sides. And we'll use our finger blade, scissors, X-Acto knife, whatever you have, to trim off this excess. So now we need to bring in the piece that measures 9.5 by 12 and the 3 3/8 by 5 inch piece. I'm going to peel up my tape. Place this down just like I did the other one, right at the edge. And I'll bring in the 2 2 by 5 inch pieces. Place them down with about 1/8 of an inch in spacing. Guys, I'm doing the exact same thing that you just saw me do on the other. And I'll bring in the other 2 by 5 and place it down using about 1/8 of an inch in spacing. Then I'll trim away my excess and flare out. I am going to place some tape on this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my tape on this, and all I'm going to do is stand it up just like this. And instead of laying it down, you can also just grab this piece, make sure you're pressing from the end here, and just fold it over, whichever way works best for you. So I'll just basically smooth it out like I did the other. Use my finger blade to come in and trim off my excess. And now we can bring the board back in. So I'm going to bring in my board, and I'll start with this piece first. So I'm just going to bend it where the spines are, and we're simply going to place it down right here by using glue on this side and this side. And when we place it down, we're going to want to make sure that we place it so that the bottom is flush right here. Nothing sticks out. So I'll just place my glue right in here, and make sure that you are using a decent amount of glue because you don't want your project to come undone. And if you're using Reptile Glue or another strong adhesive, your project is not going to come up. I have not had one of these to fail on me yet, and I have been doing this process for a very long time. So I am going to place this down, get it stuck down, and just make sure that my bottom piece is flush with the other bottom piece. So I'll get it stuck just a little bit, and then I'm going to look at it just to make sure I don't need to move it over any. I want to make sure that it's nice and squared. So now I'm just going to stand it up take a look at it, and I'm pleased with that. So I'm going to leave that alone, let it dry for just a moment, and we'll put the other one down. Okay guys, so this one is dry enough. Now I'll take my other one and I am just going to gently fold it where the fold point is. And all I'm going to do is put glue on the side here, then butt this against it and make sure that I get this positioned on the board just like I did the first one. On this one, our glue actually goes on this piece. You don't want to put it on the tall piece because you might put too much glue. So we're going to put the glue on this. And now I'll come back with this and I'll place my glue on these raw edges here. And now what I want to do is take this piece, I am going to press it down there, get it stuck to that piece, and I'll fold this in and we'll get this stuck down. So you're going to have to hold this, but you want to make sure, just like we did on the other one, that at the bottom your pieces are not sticking out. Everything needs to be nice and stuck. And so we are just going to keep pressing down and pressing over to make sure that these two sides are nice and stuck. And then once it's dry enough, you need to stand it up, take a look at it to see if you need to make any adjustments. I'm okay with this. So now I'm just going to allow this some drying time and I'll be right back. All right, guys, while this dries thoroughly, we're going to go ahead and make the bottom for it. All right, guys, so I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So what I did was went ahead and made my base for this box, and I used the piece that measured 10 1/4 by 2 3/8, and I wrapped it in some paper just to cover it completely. So that's all that you missed of this. And now what I'll be doing is I am going to take this and place it down just like this, and I will have the back completely flush. So I'll have my sides nice and even, but the back I'm going to make sure that it's nice and flush. So all I'm going to do is take my glue, and I will be putting glue all around this, even in here. So I'll put the glue down and then I'll be right back. And now I'm going to take this piece and just place it down. And I'm going to get it even on end to end, but I am going to make sure that when I press down, the back is almost seamless. So if you run your finger, everything is going to be nice and seamless. So I am going to set this down and just work that back until I have it nice and straight, and then I'll push it from side to side just to make sure that it's even. And now I'll stand it up, and when I think I have it nice and even, I am just going to start pressing down so that my glue makes contact with everything. I'm going to keep pressing down, that's the key. And we're going to let that dry, and while that is drying, we can go ahead and put on our little border strips here. And I have a piece that measures 2 5/8 by 6, and I am going to snip off just a little bit, not a lot, just a little sliver. And I'll use my glue, and I'll place some glue on this. Get this stuck down. Really start prettying this up. So I'm going to stand this up so that I can get this nice and flat. And I'll use my bone folder just to go across the top to really square that off. And then I'll go across this piece to make sure my glue is stuck. And isn't that pretty? And now I have this piece that measures 3 1/2 by 2 5/8. Trim it if you need to, but I am going to place some glue on it, and we will get it stuck down. Stand it up again so I can get that pressed down. Use my bone folder to square that off. Get that nice and pretty. And guys, really making these little boxes is as simple as I'm showing you. And I can tell you that this process is a very sturdy one. Like I said, I've not had a box to fail on me yet. As long as you get your glue meeting the paper and you're using a good quality glue, you've got something that's going to last. So I am going to bring in my cork, and this is cork that I buy in a roll. The piece that I'm using this time is 4.5 by 4.5, and all I'm going to do is saturate this in glue. So I used my paper towel to spread my glue out a little, and I am going to stand this up so that I can actually look at this while I'm doing it. So I want to make sure that I'm getting it centered. And when you use as much glue as I just used, you get a pretty good amount of wiggle time so that you can move this around if you need to. But you need to make sure that you bring in your bone folder and get everything smoothed out. And with this cork, you have to keep going over it because at times it will actually resist sticking. So I am going to just make sure I've got a really good stick on this by pressing down. So now I'm going to place down some hardware. And guys, you don't have to do this part. If you don't have the hardware that I have, you don't have to go out and buy it. Use what you have in your stash. Find something that works for you in terms of decoration here and on the bottom, or leave the bottom just as it is. But for me, I like to finish my projects off using metals. And this is a gift, so I certainly want it to look its best. So I am putting on its finery. So I put that beautiful ivory and gold handle on there, and it's absolutely stunning. So I'm going to set that and let that dry, check my cork, and I'll be right back. Okay, isn't that so pretty? Now I am going to go ahead and attach feet. And again, I will be using Reptile Glue as the adhesive on this. And I'll just put my little metal feet in the corner until they catch. I'm going to stand this up just like that. And now I'll place glue on the other one. And then I'll do the other two, let them dry, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, so while my feet are drying, I am going to go ahead and place a little sticker here so that I can put a monogram in the middle. And these little stickers, I'm going to make sure I got that straight. And these little stickers come from this stickers pack, and it's by American Crafts. And I got these at Tuesday Morning, and I absolutely love them because they have so many different sentiments on here. And I love this gold metallic edging that they have because it works great on projects like this. And the person who is getting this has the initial J. And she's a former coworker of mine, good friend of mine, and she has a birthday coming up next month. So I thought I would make her something for her desk because she likes pretty things. And so the last thing that I'm going to do is add some glue so that I can add my flat back pearls to my cork. And then I'll also put some flat back pearls on the lip of that as well. I need to put just a little more glue there. Oops, lost a pearl. It's not. And I know that some of you have been looking for Reptile Glue on Amazon and haven't been able to find it. Right now, it is currently not in stock, and they don't ship it when the weather is cold. So if you live in a cold area, they're not going to ship it. So it will be back in stock. Whatever glue you have been using up to this point, if that glue has been working for you, I would say keep using it. And then the last thing that I want to do on this is I want to go ahead and place some dots of glue here. And I am going to place down my flat back pearls. And my, oh my, isn't she lovely? I absolutely love this. My feet are dry, so I'll stand it up so that you guys can see how it looks standing. And then look at this. Isn't this a fabulous piece for the desk? We can make so many wonderful desktop organizers and desktop pieces. We don't have to go to the store and buy these because guess what? We can make these. I'm going to bring the other one in. So they look fabulous. I absolutely love these. So guys, I hope that you have liked this project. And if you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join my online crafting family. You guys have a great day. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.